to another episode of the Hooligans Pitch. As always, it's your boys, Michael and Chad, coming at you on a Monday night. What's going on, Chad?
Ooh, now that's an intro.
Yeah, we're all about the good vibes this Monday. Sunday, bad vibes. Monday, good vibes. So
you got to start the week off strong, so that's good.
We had to start this week very strong, and we're doing it. We're here.
Yeah.
Good victories for our European teams. Sad losses. This is bad. Sad losses for our California teams post Super Bowl. That's for the sad podcast. This is the happy podcast. We're winners this weekend. We put the teams away that we should have put away. Feeling good. Sitting right there. 3 teams at the top of the table right now.
It is tight.
Don't like it. I like it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, like it's cool, but at the same time, like I need some separation.
Y'all are stressing me out. Well, shoot, let's get into it. I think the teams that we expected to win did their thing. However, there are definitely a couple shakeups in there, and I think we had some teams that at least we thought would have some momentum from the last couple weeks come into this week.
Certainly.
I want to just start with Sheffield and Luton, just because that's kind of the game that we were hyped on Luton last couple weeks.
Yeah.
And Sheffield showing nothing, absolutely nothing for the last, how many months has the season been going on? 6.
Yeah.
And now they look decent against a good Luton team.
It was a weird one. Like I felt like it made me feel like a liar. Like going into this game, we were like, all right, Luton's got to figure it out. They're gonna be safe. Like it seemed like this was gonna be an easy slam dunk.
Yep.
Luton at home too. So that's been basically the 12th man for them. And then they just put out an absolute stinker, and Sheffield looked like they knew how to play.
That's that Brazilian Souza guy, man. He was just a beast. He was huge. He looked enormous compared to everyone out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly a shocking result. Which, if at the beginning of the year you would have told me a result between Luton and Sheffield was the shocking result for the weekend, like I wouldn't have believed you.
You said who? Oh man, Chad, this game got me so excited. I jumped the gun on our beers.
You did.
We're not in January anymore. I'm so used to just skipping it. We gotta just do a quick one. So I'll pull one out for the Luton boys. Cryo Ranger. That's the new Belgium. Tasty. I like it.
Yeah.
How about
just
you?
Like straight IPA or
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. I got one more of the Tropic Force, so finishing up that, and
I was looking
then
for
on
that,
to something else.
but I did not see it.
I haven't seen that Cryo one, so I don't know if I got the Tropic trial, you got the Cryo trial.
Yeah. 7.8% though, so
all right.
We're here.
Heavy hitter. Yeah. But really, I think this was just Luton having a really bad day. Okay. Not necessarily that Sheffield figured it out. Because even just kind of poring over their stats, like Kaminsky had 0 saves, and I think like attempted only like 3 launched passes when normally he's in the 10, 11, 12 plus range of at least attempted launch passes. So I don't know. Could have been a different game plan because it's a little more even playing fields.
Oh, yeah.
But if that...
Do you see the touches?
Yeah, like it didn't... That's what I'm thinking. It just... maybe it was just more of a bad day. I don't think you would switch up your game plan so drastically just because your level of competition has changed. But, it's all the same guys out there for Luton. It wasn't like they fully rotated or anything.
Right. I think
they just fell for the trap of Sheffield's been terrible, so like this will be a cakewalk, and then here you go.
Absolutely. I think that's a possibility. I think in this game, Sheffield got to be Sheffield in terms of being the ones kind of on their heels the whole time, while Luton was the ball dominating team. So they had to play a little bit of a I mean, they had to play a different style from what they're used to playing, and their style is countering, getting lucky when the offense can't convert, so then they can quickly get back down the field. And in this game, it's like they had the possession for the majority of the game, and it was Sheffield being the Luton. And it was, definitely did not see that scoreline coming. Out of all the scorelines, that is the one where I'm just like, whoa. And even tuning into that game a little bit, so many games started at 9:00 on Saturday, so it was hard to kind of bounce around. But definitely shocked to see that one for sure.
Yeah, I do want to shout out Cameron Archer's run.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice. Good control and great shot placement to. I think that was that first goal for Sheffield. I think so. Yeah,
yep.
But I thought it was pretty nice. Just well controlled and put away nicely. Didn't get too ahead of himself or shoot it over the bar or anything. So credit where credit's due, I guess.
Exactly, and this keeps Luton right above Everton, which I wanted Everton to be a little feistier this weekend. And I know early game against City.
Yeah.
City almost back to full force. Doku, I think, is the one where it's like still like, how is he looking right now? But he's the young one out of that entire team. So I would ensure him coming back full strength pretty soon. Haaland, first goal in 76 days, which is a wild number considering he was scoring every 2.5 days last year.
Yeah, my God.
So he went a long time without scoring, and then he put up some class goals in this one. First one was just a bullet. I don't know how you save that. If you get a hand on it, your hand's coming off.
Yeah, exactly.
But his second goal, Chad, in that game, he just said, "Get off me, son. You're my child now." And Pickford, I didn't really get to see his true reaction. But I imagine I imagine at that point he's like just disappointed, not mad, just disappointed. I think that's what Pickford probably felt in that situation. Like, what are you gonna do, man?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was more of just Everton kind of delaying the inevitable. Like, they were doing pretty good about crowding out the box and kind of forcing City to shoot from far, which is was working. I mean, I think City ended the game with only 3 shots on target, which is certainly low for them. But you can only defend for so long before the other team finds a way through, especially when it's a team of Haaland and when they brought De Bruyne in, it's just hard to do. And I don't know. I feel like Everton's fire from getting the point deduction lasted all of one game, and then they were just like, oh well, all right.
I think it'll come back as the season progresses and we get to that crunch time window where it's like, okay, we have 5 games left. We have to do. We have the Sean Dyche effect needs to kick in today. I think that's when we'll probably see some maximum effort. I did get up for this game. I watched the first half. I dozed off until the 65th minute and then woke up at the 80th and said, oh, yep, okay, they're winning. Yep. That's probably going to be the end of this. And then I napped until the 9:00 games.
There you go.
But Everton didn't play bad. They just had to play perfect to even get a point in this game. And it's that's you're not a perfect team in any way, shape, or form. So you're kind of just banking on City playing terrible, which was just
you kind of needed to come up against City a few weeks ago before De Bruyne got back, when Haaland was still out, when they were missing just key players. So there's a lot of rotation in there, and they did have those shaky moments. Even then, I think Everton would have still had to be pretty much perfect to really get anything from the game, which Calvert-Lewin's not scoring. That back line is fine, I guess. They're trying hard.
I think trying.
But
great word.
It's just I don't think all those defenders are like they don't want to be defenders that always are defending for the whole game. And I think it just kind of showed here. It's probably not a tough one to take for Everton fans. Probably expected, but I think to go 70 minutes of like 0-0 and then to kind of give it away probably hurt a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, their midfield is pretty trash, though. They got no creativity in there.
Yeah,
they're starting 38-year-old Ashley Young, which I can't believe he's still even playing. We talk about Thiago Silva being the old man in the league. Like, don't forget about him.
See, we're saying Thiago don't need the stress. Ashley Young don't need the relegation stress. Come on now.
I know. Just retire, son. Just retire. Yeah. So yeah, City as usual gets that done. They play Chelsea next. And we could segue to Chelsea, but I just feel like that matchup is going to be a punishing one for Chelsea.
You think it's City's going to get their full revenge of you're not making us look like this this team you can just draw against?
Absolutely. I mean, Pep's classy, but I think he just wants to make sure that Chelsea is not even close. I think this game is going to be like over before halftime. I think it's going to be one of those games.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Chelsea today down 1-0 at half, correct me if I'm wrong, and then scored 3 in the second half. So they turned it around. But with a team against City, I mean, it's Palace. Like, Palace has been playing awful. Arguably one of the worst teams.
Still no Elise, no Eze out there, too. So
arguably one of the worst teams in the Premier League right now. Last year I was pretty down on them, and honestly, this year I was like kind of mid about them, and now I'm like, here we go. It's that time again when they could be battling for relegation. I mean, they're 5 points away from it. It's not impossible.
Yeah, they certainly need to. Really, they need Eze and Elise to stay healthy because without them, they're like a dead team, basically.
Yeah, and they look good with them. That's what's crazy too.
Yeah. I mean, look, Palace. I think Palace kind of played to the same level that Chelsea was playing. Mm-hmm. So I don't know who that says more about, really, but I think. Mateta looked really lively up top. He kind of sets up that Lerma goal with his initial run down the line and cross in. I don't know that you want Mateta to be the one crossing it in when he should probably be in there to maybe head it, but it's whatever. But I mean, like stats wise, Chelsea definitely had possession and passing and all those numbers. But like shooting, it was pretty even. I think Chelsea ended the first half with one shot and it wasn't on target.
They had nothing going.
Nothing. So this is one of those score lines where I feel like it doesn't really tell the story.
I agree with that completely. Did you see how many touches Chelsea had? Over 1,000?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, they had the ball plenty. I think, honestly, Crystal Palace, if they would have been able to have a little bit more threatening shooting and keep a little bit more possession, they probably could have at least got a draw out of this game.
Yeah. I agree with that. Can you believe this is Gallagher's first goal of the year?
Yeah, I was surprised when I heard that too.
I had to look it up because I didn't believe it, and it is the truth. But I was kind of shocked. So the guy who scores 2 is probably not going to be on this team in a couple months.
Unless they can really change his mind. But I mean, at this point, hasn't signed a new contract yet. I mean, it doesn't look good, right? So, I don't know. This is kind of a weird game for Chelsea, I think, to like what they can take away from it. Mm-hmm. I don't think they can take anything like that formation, that tactic worked, because it didn't really. It like you got some good breaks at the end there, and kind of stat padded a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
I think if anything, you maybe just try and take the mentality momentum from this game into the City game. But again, they went the whole first half and did nothing. And if City is going to come out guns blazing, then oof, Chelsea better be ready.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that game that they had a couple months ago, that was kind of a guns blazing game on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
It was very fast paced. Yeah, defending maybe wasn't all there. And I do think John Stones wasn't around. I think City was doing a couple different things with their back line. So I'll be curious to see what changes on both sides, really. If will Cole Palmer start up top? What's that back line going to be doing? They're not going to have Sanchez, and that's who was in goal last time for Chelsea. So, yeah, I don't know. It'll be. I hope Chelsea plays to their level that they're capable of, obviously playing against City, but I just don't think that's the case after this last month they've had.
So last time they came off of that game against Tottenham into the City game where they won 4-1. Tottenham got two red cards, whatever. So it might be a little bit of that where it's like they got that winning momentum mentality and like carried that in. But I think you maybe benefited from City maybe not fully coming out as hot and strong as they wanted. At least, not as composed, I guess, in that. Whereas this time, I think Pep will really be on the City players of like, look, they're not putting 4 past us, let alone getting a draw out of us this time. So, yeah.
Was that the most goals they gave up this year too? I imagine it has to be.
I'm sure it is. Yeah. I don't remember anyone else doing a lot.
Anything over 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
Castle with 2.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, Palmer got 2 assists in this one, so maybe he's getting pumped up for the City game, and he'll try and do that again. But
I'm 100% a Chelsea fan that day. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I will be rooting for Chelsea. I just am not gonna get it's weird because I feel like past games City have played, like the Everton game this weekend, I was kind of like, maybe they can do it. Maybe they can do it. But with Chelsea, I'm like, nah, dude, it's not gonna happen. It's weird. Yeah. It's a weird energy that Chelsea gives off.
I think they're just they're like very up and down, but more often, I guess let the score line down. Like it shouldn't. They should be winning games and they don't, and it's just hard to. Hard to trust them or like put your faith in them to do what needs to get done.
Mm-hmm. Well, the good news is they're top 10 now.
Oh wow, they made it.
Yeah, don't choke, Chad.
Yeah, caught me by surprise there.
How long do you think they'll stay?
Oh, well, Wolves hot on their heels there.
Yep. Which we can segue to Wolves really quick if we need to. Wolves take on Tottenham next week after Brentford defeating them.
If Hwang is back, Wolves got it.
Oh, Wolves taking down Tottenham?
If Hwang is back.
He should be. Son was back last week. Or this week. I mean, Son set up the game. Arguably, if Son's not there this past week for Tottenham, they don't win that game. Everyone's kind of coming back from AFCON and Asian Cup, getting ready to go. My boy Endo back on the pitch. Big difference. It's crazy what those guys are just so crucial to our teams. So, yeah, if Hwang is back, it's must watch. I'll give you that.
For sure. Yeah.
I'd like to see how their defense holds up because, wow, let's segue to that game really quick. Tony's goal, how wide open was that man?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, they got to figure out whatever's happening in that back line because I mean, he just
dude, it was huge.
Like, I feel like when you're planning for this game against Brentford, you probably have some portion of your like tactical meeting where it's like guard Tony.
Yeah,
So
for
that
sure.
if anyone's going to be wide open, it should never have been that guy.
That the whole pitch that was just cut open, and they were playing three at the back, but I that pass looks so easy to make, and then Tony
Yeah.
just slots it in so freely. Um, this Brentford team that we saw against the Wolves, I like.
Hmm.
Defense looked organized. Put Mbumo in there, and
Yeah.
it's a force, maybe not to be reckoned with, but a force that you have to at least worry about a little bit. And then Regulon, man, he's come alive too.
Yeah.
He's been flying up and down the pitch, getting tackles here and there, and he'd be a great addition to have with Rico Henry. It's crazy the pieces that they're missing or have been missing for a chunk of this year, and where Brentford is now. What are they sitting right now? 15th,
14th.
14th. It's like the teams above them right now, Bournemouth and Fulham. Like I want to peg Brentford above them. Um,
Hmm.
Hell, but when does Chelsea play Brentford next?
Oh.
March 2nd.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Coming up.
that could be battle for top 10 if they take care of business.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm a Brentford homer. I like Thomas Frank. I
Hmm.
like what that team does. Tony's come back now. What, he has 3 goals in his last 4.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
So if he's there all season long, way different placement for that team.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, you even just saw, Mbumo through the start of the season and how good he was of just picking up the pieces. So if he has his, strike partner in Tony, like I think they probably get more wins and are able to kind of be that mid-table team that I think they really are. Um, and then yeah, they went through that weird spell where they just like couldn't. There's no organization in defense, and it seems they're getting past that. So
So wait, you
I
don't
think
think Brentford could fight for top 7?
top 7.
Yeah.
Mm, I don't think top 7.
You don't think they could battle Newcastle? Full
No,
strength Newcastle?
I think Newcastle probably beats them purely on just like the Newcastle just runs and runs and runs.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just
I think that's maybe the ceiling for me. Like, I think the West Ham team now, I think they can go kind of toe to toe with them.
West Ham,
Um,
dude. West Ham was champions of English football like a month ago for us, and now we don't know what to think of them.
that's what I'm saying. West Ham is falling fast here. So,
That is a drop off.
and I feel like the West Ham and Brighton, I feel like are the ones that right now I think Brentford could
That's where they are.
have done a little bit better
Mm-hmm.
against those kind of teams, but um, I think just the like turbulence in who's available to play and the cloud around Tony of like is he coming back or is he going to whatever team and I wish Mbumo was fit and healthy
No.
to play with him from Tony's return. I think that would have been like it was already pretty exciting to get Tony back out there and not only that but like for him to like get scoring right away, and I think having like proper winger and Mbumo would have been like cherry on top for that and really push them forward more. But I think they'll survive. I think they're making the right steps here to no longer keep falling. I'm going to say 14th is the lowest they're going to go. I don't think they go any lower.
Yeah, that'd be pretty shocking if they fell anymore. Tough schedule for them though coming up. They got Liverpool this weekend. They got City. Then they got West Ham. Then they got Chelsea. Then they got Arsenal.
Whew.
Still holding that 14th? Is that?
Yeah, I think so.
They got to win at least. Well, shoot, I was gonna say at least 2, but probably just at least. They're probably gonna only win one of those games.
Yeah.
And in my head, it's probably the West Ham game. I think Chelsea, just looking down, I think Chelsea would beat Brentford, but I think West Ham is so out of whack right now.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? What happened, man?
I mean, look.
Should we talk about your thumping that you gave him?
Let's get it out of the way for the possible West Ham fan that listens to this.
Holy shit, dude. 6?
Yeah, that was not what I expected.
No. They beat y'all like 2 months ago.
Yeah. And I know like they've been in a little bit of a struggle lately, but you know, West Ham at home against Arsenal, a London rival. I figured they're up for it. And honestly, the first 30 minutes looked like they were going to put up a fight, right? Like they looked in it. I think Arsenal certainly looks more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But then that first goal goes in and West Ham just like stops playing. Like no one. Like no one's defending, no one's jumping. Well, I'm not going to say no one. Bowen is the only guy out there I saw constantly making runs, trying to get on the ball, trying to do things. Everyone else is just like nothing.
Yeah, he looked pretty frustrated at when Arsenal I think it was at the Trossard goal. I think that was the one where he was just like, "Oh my god. Like what are we doing right now?" So this is just the Paqueta effect, right? This is just showing how crucial he was to them.
I guess like I know he kind of operates that Bruno role where he creates, but he also makes a lot of tackles and
Which
everything.
one?
But
Bruno G or
Fernandez.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think it would be such a disruption and drop off by missing him. You know, you still have like Kudus is back, right? And you know, you still have Bowen out there. You got Ward-Prowse. Like your midfield's basically the same. You still have Souček and Alvarez behind them. I don't know. It threw off the balance, and West Ham and David Moyes don't know what to do anymore.
Fans were streaming out at halftime.
Oof.
Yeah, that was rough. I do have my notes for this game. Arsenal, aka Trossard and Saka, watched some Les Cut Inside videos. Finally,
that's what I've been wanting.
Both having mirror goals from opposite feet. You know, we don't see Saka do that cut inside too often. However,
you see the cut, but then he doesn't really do anything with it.
Sure. I will say though, the defending was atrocious.
Yeah,
he made that like shoulder shimmy, and then the defender disappeared. It was like, now you see me, now you don't. He's gone. And if you go watch it back, dude, the defender, I don't like Saka's move was good, but it wasn't great. It wasn't the greatest shoulder feint he's ever had. It was very soft and.
That's what I'm saying. That first goal went in and just crushed any mental strength that West Ham players had. They forgot what they were doing. They forgot their assignment on the day. You know, it was incredible to see a team that gave us such an issue a couple months ago look completely different and just like have nothing going for them.
Walk me through your reaction to the Declan Rice goal.
I mean, so at this point in the game, you're up 5, right? Like at this point, it's like let's just keep going for more. We're trying to eat away at that goal differential, right? So then, you know, ball kind of pops out to Trossard and Odegaard, and they both are doing the like, you no me no yeah. And I was like, come on, guys! Like, I don't know if that would have been a goal from either one of them, but like that was a perfect opportunity to get a shot off, and then just off the screen out of nowhere, Declan comes in, just bangs it, and it was like blew my mind for a split second. I wish I understand why he didn't celebrate, but a goal like that, I feel like you gotta do something. And man, that was just when that one went in, I was like, oh, this could get ugly. Like
8. I
6 was already ugly, but
I thought y'all were gonna get 7 because you kept pushing. And I was like 7
Yeah.
it's very possible that y'all get 7. You made a lot of substitutions after that goal, after the 6th one, I believe. I think everyone came out.
All the key players basically came out that we could.
Yeah.
We got what's his name? That kid, Ethan Nwaneri? Not I don't know how to say it. He's like 16, so it's that's never a good sign when the other team's bringing on the 16-year-olds.
Yeah, that's yeah, high school juniors coming out to school you.
Yeah.
Not what Jared Bowen signed up for.
No. Yeah. I think I don't know where West Ham goes. Like I've was kind of peeking around at their like subreddit after this, and of course a lot of them are kind of on the David Moyes out train right now. But against that same question we've been asking all season of like, who do you bring in right now? Like, I mean, I guess now Mourinho's available if you really want to try that. But
that'd be sick.
I'm down to get him back in the Premier League.
Me too, man. I miss him. I feel like West Ham could be the good. It's a good squad on paper.
Mm-hmm.
It just needs to things need to click again.
Yeah.
And if this is Moyes' 4th season now, it's got to be around 4.
I think something like that.
Because I remember 3 years ago he had a great season. Last year was turbulent, won a cup, and then this year, so it's got to be around 3 to 4. So pretty long, all considering pretty long tenureship with West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
But Jose could come in there and I think really get that fan base riled up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, there's some hype there, and I think I just miss him. I miss his antics. I feel like, not that the Premier League's boring, but like, it's not of course it's not boring, but I'm like, the coaches right now are just very, I don't know, we all know what they bring to the table here. Klopp is arguably the most enthusiastic one, and we're going to be losing him soon. And then you got Arteta, and then there's a drop off of like, well, who's kind of that manager? Take out Pep. Pep's in a different category. Who's like the manager that everyone wants to look at? And we all want. Mourinho's not even in the same area. He's so far away from us, and we're all like, is he coming? Like, we all want him. We don't even care where he goes. We just want him.
Yeah. I mean, I think Mourinho's one of those guys that he's not afraid to kind of call out other managers and just kind of like, play that mental game, obviously, and rile up the opponent and poke the bear when he needs to.
West Ham would be so good. Oh my God.
I mean, West Ham might be a good fit in that, like, I think a lot of people wouldn't and probably don't take them like overly seriously, but then if Mourinho's there, I think that perception will change a bit, and I think he could make something fun happen there.
I'm just Googling just in case. 11 hours ago, Jose Mourinho emerged as West Ham favorites as David Moyes' sack decision noted. Oh boy, Chad.
Look, if you're going to get rid of Moyes, you're still in Europa. I think Mourinho's a pretty good shout. Like we said, on paper, that team is decent enough. Like, we've seen where they can perform. Maybe they were overperforming at the start of this season, but clearly there is talent in that squad. I think Mourinho comes in with already a certain level of respect, that he's gained over the years, and I don't know. I don't think you can go on this bad run, get rid of David Moyes, and bring in like someone of equal caliber. I don't think that'll be the excitement that you need to.
Graham Potter.
See, I don't think that would do it. I don't think that would get the excitement from
Sure.
players and fans to be like, all right, season's back on. I think you do need like your Mourinho or I don't know who else, but Mourinho
He's got like
to come in.
a year and a half. You give him a year, you give him half this year and then all of next year. And if you don't like what you get, okay. Then because then you got a lot of players you can sell off and do whatever you got to do with it. But this is like, I'm not saying this is their the peak caliber team they're going to have in this next year and a half, but their team, I think personally, is good enough to at least be in top 10, which they are currently, but they're quickly falling out. So how do you change this this decline? What do you need to do? And if Moyes is not the guy, which is, I mean, Moyes basically said, I understand why the fans are leaving. I don't know if that's the best thing to say to the public, saying like, yeah, our team was shit. No wonder why they left. It's like, well, you know, you could say, you know, we need our team, we need our fans to rally behind our team. Our team seeing the fans leave halfway through the game definitely took some steam out of us. I don't know. I look at it that way, to where he basically just, I don't want to say didn't take it seriously, but it wasn't a good look for me. If my coach ever said that, he's like, yeah, no wonder why they left. I'd be like, what the fuck? You know, thanks for believing in us, coach.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, and just kind of comparing, you know, Mourinho was at Roma. I would argue they're about the same level as West Ham, and like they have some big names. You know, Mourinho was able to bring Lukaku there, which, love or hate Lukaku, like Mourinho almost alone pulled him in there, and he performed well for them. And then, you know, when he got fired from Roma, I did see a lot of fans online being a little upset that he was fired. Like, season wasn't going incredibly well, but I think they saw what Mourinho was bringing to the team and like how much he bought into Roma. So I don't know. I kind of started saying Mourinho as a joke, and now I'm talking myself into it. So
yeah, I'll buy it.
If it happens, I am here for it. I'm on board.
Wide open arms, Jose. Come on.
That's it.
Come home.
I want him to go to West Ham, get some late minute winner against Chelsea, and sprint down the field.
Chad. You bad. It would be fitting because West Ham does play Man City on the last day of the season.
Well, see, here you go.
If they hire him the week before the season ends and he comes in there and beats City and allows one of our teams to win the Premier League, I'd kiss his feet. I would.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like one of those like Thanos moments. Like, you did all this, and here you are, coming back to me. Like, Mourinho will save us from the City continued run-in at the end of the season and being unstoppable.
Would be tight. Well, that was your 6-0 defeat. Victory. West Ham's defeat.
Yeah. You know, I great to see a big win like that. But I think maybe the biggest thing is this leveled goal differential with City now. So could be very big come the end of the season to be right there. So cool. Yeah. Ready to keep pushing forward.
What do you know? I'm looking at City's schedule right now. Will they be made up, if you take a look at it, will they be fully matched up with everyone else by the 20th? Is that the day we're looking at?
February 20th, City plays Brentford. That's the game they're missing. So then they will play the following Saturday. So they should be caught up, and then it's a race to the end, basically.
Copenhagen,
sprinkled in some Champions League. But
just make them tired. Just make them really tired for these next 5 days.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Like,
could you imagine?
I mean, regardless of the result, if Copenhagen takes them, 2 games, kind of makes them work for it, or takes it down to the wire, like regardless of if Copenhagen were to win or lose, like that's a good showing for you. Like you're a team that no one expected to get to this point, and if you can get anything past City, or at least make them really work for it, I think you're gaining a lot of respect in the European soccer world.
So, looking deep into their schedule, Copenhagen then plays City again March 6th. 4 days later, they play Liverpool. Chad.
Oof.
Copenhagen, please. I will be forever in your debt.
Yep, we're all Copenhagen fans.
Just don't lose this first leg by a shit ton. That's
Is the first one home or away for them?
Copenhagen home.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might be able to pull the Luton effect.
Yeah.
Kind of a different world than City's used to. Much colder right now than England would be, and get loud, get those City players uneasy. And who was that young kid, Rooney or something, that came in in the earlier stages?
Rooney, yeah. And then they got Haaland's brother too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So what is his name? He's like the teenager. They don't have him on the starting preview. I hope he's not injured. No, I don't see him on the injury list. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Rooney. It was like Rooi.
Yeah, it was something different.
Yeah, he was fun.
Yeah, he looked exciting. Yeah, I mean, you think Copenhagen obviously, I think, understands the challenge they're about to face, but stranger things have happened.
You got the whole world behind you.
Exactly.
Anything is possible. All right, let's jump to Liverpool here. I don't got too much to say about this game. I will say I was a little nervous going into halftime being level at the 44th minute. I had to pee so bad, so I ran into the bathroom, and then Kristen says, "They scored." I said,
"That's how it goes."
I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like nothing was happening. I was like, "I have to go," and I was like, "I have time. Like nothing's gonna happen." And of course, they let one in. So, whatever. We come back out. I'm so glad Diaz got the goal shortly after half started. I will say though, he's been doing a lot of dribbling, Chad. And he reminds me of what Nunez was kind of doing last year, where he would find these open spaces, which was great. Take the open space, but he's not realizing the people next to him are also wide open. Yeah. There was an opportunity where he could have passed to Darwin, and I believe Darwin would have scored. Who knows? Might have hit the post, but I caught it a couple times. I was like, "Oh, like come on, like pass it. It's okay to pass it. Like do it." But his goal was great effort. I feel kind of bad for him right now because when he scores, it doesn't even look like he wants to celebrate because he's just like, it's gonna get called back. And it sucks because it's happened to him so many times. So I get it. I get why the excitement level is low. And I'm hoping we can get to a point where he scores goals that aren't these like controversial things so he can go like actually celebrate. Instead of being like, he basically was like, I hope it counts. And then Darwin's header was fantastic. Chad, I think he's gonna be a really good player for us in the future. Considering how many opportunities he has to score, he just has to, if he can just put one away per game, look at that. Fantastic. Then we have a great ratio. I mean, how many shots on target did he have this game? 3? I haven't looked, but I'm assuming it's up there. Just 2, but 5 shots total. Diaz 4 shots total, and I think 2 of Diaz's shots he had Nunez open. So, we're hitting the target. I think that's what counts, putting pressure on the keeper. It is Burnley, of course, but to come out 3-1, good enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this. I mean, really, like the main thing in my notes was just Harvey Elliott was like super
Oh
sub,
yeah, for sure,
basically.
for sure. He's the
Um,
spark.
I'm giving him 2 assists. I know they didn't give him an assist for that Diaz goal because it takes a little deflection, but
Yeah,
like
silly.
he set that thing up. So
Yeah,
come on.
it was almost like identical too. Both of them.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think you're right. I think Darwin will continue to grow and get better. I mean, he's only 24. Like he's still young as far as your strikers go. And to be, I know like he kind of gets memed on for hitting the post a lot, but like I'd rather you be shooting and hitting the post than missing it wide. So I think he's moving in the right direction. Certainly, he's clearly learning. Like we saw, like you said, he started out just not passing. He
mhm.
would take the crazy shot because I don't know, at Benfica he did. I don't know, but he's learned to pass. He has that connection with Salah. Um, he's a good piece to have, I think, and certainly offers a threat up top, different to what Firmino brought. But I think you're probably going to find a new Firmino figure somewhere in the team over the next few years anyway. That
Mhm.
kind of fulfills that more like facilitator role.
Yeah.
Um, which is maybe kind of like Slabosly's role almost a little bit. Um, I don't know. I'd like to see him play a little further up
Yeah.
more
Same.
than he does, but
Same. But it's Endo's back. I'm telling you, that's gonna make
that
a
helps too.
huge
Yeah.
difference. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy how much better they looked in the midfield because it allowed McAllister to push up
Mm-hmm.
and be his. He's been a great six, but really
Mm-hmm.
he didn't sign up to be a six. He wants to go attack, he wants to go score, and he wants to assist.
Yeah.
I mean, Darwin's has 7 assists, which is crazy too. And those 5
Yeah.
post hits we've talked about, if he makes those, he's at 13 goals, which would be, I think at this point, third in the Premier League,
I think so.
under
Yeah.
Salah and Haaland. So it's like
Yeah.
to be 13 goals, 7 assists, like that's crazy. 8 yellows is the problem. That's the like.
Well, I think that's just part of him. So.
Dude, that's not what I want out of my my striker to be leading the team in yellow cards. That's not what I want. It's not ideal, but
Yeah.
if it was last year, if this was the same player from last year to this year, you know, I'd be a lot more nervous, I think, for his future. But because he just looks so much more settled down. He looks
Oh
like
yeah.
he's chilled out a ton, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his nerves out, and he can kind of just focus more on being who Liverpool bought instead of trying to be, you know, he was the man in Portugal.
Yeah.
Now he has a lot of other people who can do a great job around him. So I can't wait to get Salah back. I hope. I don't know what his timeline's looking at right now. I know AFCON final happened recently, and that was his return date. So he's got to be
Okay.
close.
Yeah.
So yeah, return date was set for Salah. Let's see. Expected this weekend. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think Brentford. You should mostly be able to get past them without Salah, but
I think late sub. I think we don't need
yeah,
to start him. Get him in.
I
Just
think get him back out there a little bit, just get him back up to speed. But
yeah, feel it out.
yeah, I mean, yeah, this game was. I mean, it's any of the bottom table teams that can kind of throw a wrench in your plan. And Liverpool coped with it pretty well. They adjusted where they needed to, and I mean, yeah, Harvey Elliott came in and set up 2 good goals to really ensure the victory. So, yeah, job done.
On to the next one. All right, let's bust out the non-fan favorites here. Tottenham, Brighton. Tottenham. They won. Did they deserve to win this game? I don't know. I don't know if they deserved it. I thought Brighton did decent. I think Tottenham's
Yeah.
first goal was ridiculously lucky.
Mm.
Uh, like
I mean, I'd say both goals are
that's
just big defensive errors
for
from
sure.
kind of Dunk alone. Like I know it was more than that, but like first goal, I guess is a little bit unlucky. His deflection bounces off the post and back to Sarr. But that second goal, he's just like so incredibly out of position, and then the
Punished.
counter happens, and he's not the quickest dude in the world. He's not getting back into position.
No, he got punished
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's Brighton right now. Is just they're kind of like a Chelsea. They're hard to trust to do the right thing.
Matoma's back.
Yeah. Matoma's back. He looked good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll help their attack kind of get back underway. But they really just got to find out how to get more clean sheets. Like it's
impossible.
They give up too many goals, and then obviously that's not working. Like you started so strong, and now you're all the way down the ninth. Like Chelsea's 1 point behind you. It's I don't know. Brighton's season, I think, just got away from them a little bit after a hot start, and
Well, they stopped scoring 4 goals a game, but they're still
Yeah.
letting in the same amount, 2 to 3 per game. So yeah, I mean that's
it's true.
Evan Ferguson hasn't scored since his hat trick.
Yeah.
I mean he hasn't been playing a ton of minutes, but the minutes he's been getting, he hasn't been doing anything. And God, remember when teams were like, "We should buy Ferguson"? Whew, that would have been a. I mean,
Yeah.
I almost subbed him into my team. Crazy.
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, you nearly did. I mean, I think probably just says how good Brighton was looking. They could bring in this 19-year-old striker, and he pops off, and like it looked natural. It looked like was their way forward, and then things fell apart, obviously. But yeah, I know it's this Tottenham team is one that'll fight till the end, as we've seen plenty of times already. So I don't know. Maybe Brighton didn't prepare for that. They forgot that could happen or something. And I don't know. Dunk was really pushing to try and get a winner for Brighton or something, and decided to move up the field out of position for some reason.
Strange, isn't it? Fulham took down Bournemouth. I think that was pretty fair.
Yeah.
Our American boys look good. Ream and Robinson. Robinson, man, again, we've keep hyping him up. He's been top defender scorer in our league for God, how many weeks in this season? He's got to be up there probably for the most weeks of being in team of the week.
Probably, yeah.
He's been looking nice. Rodrigo Muniz coming in out of nowhere. He now has 3 goals in the last 2 games, kind of replacing Jimenez in that 9 spot, looking really nice. I think this team just needs a out-and-out striker every week, and they're going to be okay.
Looks like it.
That's like it seems to be the missing piece for them. And when they have one, things are clicking. So good for them.
Yeah.
Bournemouth looked awful. Nothing going for them. Again, direction for both these teams, not entirely sure, which we've brought up in the past, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Fulham's that weird team where you see the flashes of how good they could be, and then then it feels like they should be higher in the table, but then you've seen them at like their lowest of the lows, and you're like, okay, like you can't be that good and this bad. So I feel like Fulham will probably hover around this spot. Wouldn't be surprised to see Bournemouth fall a little bit, but Bournemouth's been playing better in recent weeks. Still kind of struggling, obviously. I mean,
struggling to score. And Solanke had a stretch there where it was like, oh, like you're looking like a pretty good striker.
He had a number of shots though, if I remember correctly.
Did Leno pop off?
No, it just Solanke had 5 shots, just none on target.
That's a problem.
That is a problem. Ryan Christie 4 shots, none on target. A couple other players 3 shots with just like 1 on target. So like they're shooting, just not well. And then you go to the other side, and yeah, Muniz 2 shots, 2 goals.
Yep.
Willian 3 shots with 2 of them on target. Like
I know,
it's a game of inches at times, and Bournemouth just have to find the right side of those inches, I guess.
We should hope to see Tyler Adams by the end of the month.
No, finally.
I know. I've been like forgetting about him, so it'll be good to see him playing again.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably Bournemouth's only bright spot they have at the moment. So
yeah,
we'll see if they can turn things around. All right, let's move down to Castle and Forest. Man, that was kind of a back and forth game there. But Bruno G came out and wide open for some of these shots. This seemed to be the theme of the weekend. Was just let's leave players wide open at the top of the box and see what they can do. And Bruno with 2 great strikes punished Forest. But both the Forest goal were really nice. The Hudson-Odoi goal was sweet, and the Elanga run. Whew, man, he was speeding.
Elanga looked good. He looked up for it. I mean, I think just needed Forrest to like defend a little bit better. Like the ball that doesn't get cleared and falls down for Shar to just kick open and freely into the goal basically is like, you can't let that happen. And then Bruno's just
so much
open.
time. Couldn't believe it. And now this just takes me back to what was Matt Turner supposed? You think another keeper is going to make this better? Like, this is your 3rd keeper this year. What
I'm saying.
What do you think's going to happen?
I hope that Nuno sees this and says like, oh, this is not a keeper issue. Like, like it's clearly just a defensive unit issue at this point, and maybe just a whole team issue of like people not getting back when they should, or keeping it as tight or as structured or whatever it might be. But it's I don't think it's any one player across the field, but I mean, to kind of take it to Newcastle, I think is probably they can take away something from the game, but like, man, when they go back and watch the tape and just see like, why is this guy open? Like, what are we doing? Like,
it was the Bruno Guimara's 2nd goal when he was able to like regather his step, because he's like, oh, there's no one near me. I have to like reset up because I misjudged the ball the first time, and still no one was able to step. Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, on the keeper conversation, Matty T fans here.
Yep.
So then I went back and looked just on FBref between Turner and Sells, their stats for this year, just to see, like, I don't know this Sells guy. I don't know why they brought him in.
Full season? You're giving me a full season of Sells from?
What's
the sample size here?
23 to 24. So current season. So Turner's got 17 full matches played. Sells had 21. I think he was at Strasbourg before this. So in that time, they've both allowed 28 goals. Turner has a save percentage of 67.5. Sells has a save percentage of 60.3. So similar, once you account for a few more matches for Sells. Sweeper actions, basically just did like the things that we track. Turner has 18, Sells has 21. Okay, pretty even. A big one that stood out to me was stopped crosses. Turner has 30 stopped crosses. Sells has 6.
Ooh.
So you're not really coming out commanding that box like Premier League keepers need to do.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what his defenders were doing on crosses. That would be that would be what I'd be paying attention to. Like, okay, was he relying on his defenders to clear that ball? But now if he gets to Forest and he realizes that Matt Turner was the one grabbing those balls, will he be sitting back on his heels saying, I hope my teammates get it? And they won't.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
hmm and then launched passes. Turner's attempted 280. He's completed 45% of those. Sells completed 250, completing 38%. So I think probably a little bit better distribution, but not super far off. But then since we have seen Turner make some errors in his passing in the back, I looked at the errors. Turner has 4 this year, and Sells has 1, and that's just the error being it leads to a shot on goal, not necessarily it resulted in a goal. But so I don't know. Looking at these stats, I could have went back and looked at more, but I honestly wasn't that bothered to.
At that point,
but like,
sure.
It looks like they more or less just brought in a older Matt Turner at this point. Like,
this is the Pam Beasley. It's the same picture, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just, except for those stops crosses, which could be just the defensive setup that Sells was used to.
Sure.
At
I would not
Strasbourg.
be shocked if that's what it was. 100%.
It seems like just a weird choice to bring him in. I get he's older, so maybe they were hoping just more experience in the back, but I think Sells is 31 and Turner's like 29 or something. So like, again, not far off. But I don't know. I don't think it's just the single keeper issue. It's more rooted in the team and defense.
There's a bigger picture here that they might be failing to understand.
Yeah.
Yikes. Interesting. 3 keepers. Is that the most for a non-injured? I feel like it is for non-injured keepers. Who else has been rotating keepers like that?
Probably because Brighton was only doing the 2. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because Chelsea brought in Petrovic, but Sanchez was injured. Yeah, Arsenal with 2, but then really it just became Raya. So
it was just a scapegoat.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone else, I think, is pretty nailed on with their starter keeper.
Just going down my list here, but yeah, I think that's fair to say. Huh.
Yeah.
Poor Matty T.
So, I mean, I don't know. I want to say the door's not closed at Forest for Matty T. I think it will just be whoever can in their practices, whoever can gel with that a defensive unit better, I think will probably get the start along with that defensive unit.
Right.
It just there's so many players on that Forest team. They got to go through a few variations,
True. Well, they got West Ham coming up, so this will either be a bounce back game for West Ham or a if Sells. This actually could decide a lot of things. If Forest wins and Sells is in behind the post, Sells could be arguably the keeper for the rest of the year if they take down West Ham, who's
true,
top 7. Or West Ham comes in, thumps them, and Nuno says, "Okay, that was a terrible decision. Get back in there, Matt." I think I'm rooting for a West Ham thumping, so we can hopefully see Matt Turner get back in there. Wouldn't that be some shit if they just light him up?
I mean, look, Arteta talked about wanting to sub a keeper mid-game. He still hasn't done it, so maybe Nuno take that comment and make it your own now, and start Sells and see. Okay, he's not coming out to stop crosses. Whatever Turner does that, get in there.
Dude, the disrespect is so crazy. When's the last time we saw a keeper get? Was it Kepa? But he refused to.
But he refused. I'm pretty sure that's the last time.
Good day, dude. Good luck. Anyone else? He really set the precedent of yeah, no, you ain't gonna do that to me. Who was the coach at that time? Was it Frank?
I think so. I forget. Maybe it wasn't
Conte?
Frank. Oh, I think it was Conte.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Oh no, it was Maurizio Sarri.
Oh my God, I forgot about him. He was probably smoking while he subbed him out.
Probably, yeah. He had a brief period there 4 years ago.
Wow, that was 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Yeah, I didn't think it was that long ago.
That's crazy.
Whew,
Anyway,
time is flying.
Anyway, last game of the weekend here, Man United, Aston Villa. Not shocked by the scoreline. I kind of, this has been the trend. Aston Villa slowly trending downwards. They might have hit their peak too soon. Was maybe hoping for a bounce back for them. But they are, they killed Sheffield last week. And then, Man United's kind of figured some things out. I hate saying it. I really hate it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
balance.
good to say it, but I think they got the right people back that they needed. Somehow motivated Casemiro to like play again. Things are clicking for them, which sucks, but this game didn't have to end this way. Like I feel like Villa had so many opportunities where it was just like shot right at Onana or like just a soft shot. Or they were just playing like FIFA where it's like 6 deflections before it goes in, and it's like so I guess Villa's like looking a little bit better, more towards what they were. But now just maybe have that mental block of like getting the goal. And then and who else to get the winner besides McTominay?
I know
that guy's gonna ride these like late winners for his whole career. I think.
I threw my pen when he scored. I was, God, again. It's always him.
Yeah.
Always.
And that's the thing is like, but before we made our winter fantasy changes, I looked at McTominay because like, dude pops up as scoring. He does nothing else. He pops up at the end of these games, scores, gets the winner, and boom, done. So like fantasy perspective, it didn't really help me, but it's just incredible that he has a knack to be in the right spot at the right time, and I guess it's a good weapon to have off the bench. And it's if Ten Hag realizes that, which it seems like he does, then he'll keep doing it, and teams will have to respect McTominay for it. But yeah, across from Dallo got the assist, so
I know.
Good pickup for you.
It was a good assist too.
Yeah,
were kind of fumbling it down there. He just came in and booted it in, and it was nice. It was nice. McTominay has a knack for scoring those. So yeah, Aston Villa, man, they got to figure some things out. They got Fulham and then Forest next. So if they want to get back on track, I think those are actually. And they got Luton afterwards too. So they really have 3 winnable games. If they drop
definitely
these, though,
should, but
if they drop these though, it's going to be rough because then they go to play Tottenham, which is arguably the the top 4 space.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my thought process on these next ones is like they should be winning them, but Fulham I think can be a trap game for almost anyone. Just depends what Fulham shows up.
Right.
Who is the next
Forest?
Forest, I think they can deal with.
Villa's at home for that, but they got Luton.
But Luton, like if it's the Luton we've seen the past couple weeks,
Luton home,
that could be rough.
Yep.
And then I mean, right now, they're only 1 point behind Tottenham, so
right.
If they can kind of hang on and then that game means a little bit more. Maybe Emery can use it as his like, all right, cup final, like. Put your shooting boots on and let's get it done. I don't know. I think they're making the right progress, I guess. Like they got shots off. They're mostly defended well. Just gotta I don't know. They're not just clicking as seamlessly as they were at the start of the season.
Yeah, they peaked in December again. They beat City. Beat Arsenal, and then they said, "Job done.
Wrap it up. We're done.
See you next year. Told you we can do it."
Yeah, for real.
They were on the fiscal year, January to December. They didn't realize that they got 5 more months to play.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Chad, we nailed it. That was match week 24. Oh my God, we're almost there. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's bust out the team, the meme, the dream, the goal, the player. I think team. We can start with team. In my head, there's kind of only one right now that's really standing out. Maybe two, but I think one. Arsenal thumping West Ham. Revenge victory.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but almost everyone on the attacking side getting a goal. Great effort all around. You don't let one in. You made half that stadium walk home before the game was even halfway through. There were no bubbles at any point, which is honestly, that's my favorite part about West Ham games. So pretty sad to not see any. And then, of course, I'm going to give shout outs to Sheffield just because we don't see wins from them very often. I don't know how long it's been. Actually, I'm going to look at that right now. How long has it been since
I don't know.
last EPL win?
I feel like quite a while.
November 4th.
Okay, yeah.
Against the Wolves. So.
Yeah, I had the same two teams down. You put 6 past a top half of the table team. I think that's a pretty good performance. And just to I know some of it's down to just West Ham not really playing after that first goal, but to put 6 past them so easily was just whoa, there's levels to this, and Arsenal's at a completely different one than West Ham.
Yep.
Yeah. Then Sheffield, surprised all of us, I think. So
for sure,
definitely get a shout.
But Arsenal, I think Arsenal deserves it. Definitely. The revenge win goes a long way. For player, I'll take the lead here.
Yeah. Rice definitely gets a shout. 1 goal, 2 assists against his former club. So maybe he had a little extra motivation in him. Maybe it's just happenstance that, he sent in the corners that Saliba and Gabriel were able to get to and stuff. But, his goal was great. That said, I think my nomination is Harvey Elliott.
Oh, thank you.
Technically 1 assist, but I'm counting it as 2 because he set that up. I think Liverpool probably could have came out of this game with the win, regardless of him being out there. But he got out there, he made things happen. So I think he was, a real game changer in that sense. So I'm gonna go Harvey Elliott on this one.
Right on. I'm gonna switch it to a man we haven't been the most fond of this year, but Bruno Guimaraes had some nice goals, man, and he was, when the crowd is chanting Bruno at you, it's kind of cool. And you probably saw the screenshot I took of him celebrating. That was accidental Renaissance-esque.
Yeah, that's
I don't
cool.
know, man. It was kind of a cool sight to see. I was weirdly jealous of what does that feel like? And that's got to just feel so powerful when you can just
I'm sure
when you command thousands of people to chant your name, and you're just look at me. It's very egotistical and it's very egocentric, but very cool to say the least. So that's my shout out. Other good performances though. A lot of good not so much stat performances, but again, just the players that came back from AFCON and Asia Cup, Son and Endo. If those guys aren't there I know Liverpool was against Burnley, but truly made a huge difference. Didn't show up on the stat sheet a ton, but God, it's so nice to have him back. And I'm sure Tottenham's saying the same thing about Son, especially because of his run. He looked fresh as hell on that run too. So
I know he did not look like he'd been playing a whole tournament or anything.
No, he looked insanely quick. So yeah, those are the two that, I guess 3 that stand out. But hey man, if you want to say Harvey Elliott for his little left foot curlers, let's do it, man. Harvey.
When you come into a game, it's already hard enough to warm up to the game and get yourself involved, and to come in and get the 2 winning assists. Technically 1, but I think that's a big shout. Rice's goal was great. He played well, he always has for Arsenal, but West Ham just rolled over on this one, so it takes away a little bit of how good his performance looks stat-wise, I
For
think.
sure.
But
For sure.
I'm down with Harvey Elliott. I mean, Bruno put up a good game, but like you almost let Forrest beat you. So
That's true. That's true. Well, for goals, Chad, I have a decent list here.
yeah,
How many in total? Technically 6, but I'm gonna win it down to 5.
Okay.
The Nunez header, just because it was a lovely flick. The Haaland 1-on-1, where he said, "Braithwaite, get out of my way, child."
Yeah.
The Declan hit, because
Yeah.
that was a smoker. The Trossard and Saka, they cut inside goals, like both solid tandem.
Yeah.
But it's got to go to Lerma for Palace because
Yeah, I need you to set the scene on this one, because it's a whole scene that makes the goal.
Because 8 seconds prior to this goal, he whiffed so hard and looked like a player who should not be out there. Didn't give up on the play, and then had a screamer in the top right. Now, I will say, Petrovic might have been a little delayed to react to this, probably because he didn't expect him to hit it, but he still stretched out. He was full stretch and didn't even get fingers on it. That goal was a surprise to me. I said, that I popped off because I was like, whoa, my goodness, where did that come from? Like, it really came out of nowhere. The Declan goal, similar, but because the Trossard and Odegaard, like, hesitation, like, I was like, what are they doing? And then I was like, whoa, hello. Both of them are very similar, but I think Lerma redeemed himself so much in that sequence that he deserves it. He deserves it from my point of view.
Yeah. It's funny. There's people in the Arsenal subreddit saying like, no, Odegaard and Trossard saw Declan coming, so they were like creating space for him. I was like, no, you guys, stop trying to, like, I don't know, paint this the best way. Like, they were clearly going to run into each other and thought one was going and one wasn't. Like, so funny, yeah. But Lerma's goal, I think I'm down with it, especially because of the, like, just incredible whiff seconds before.
I didn't know it was like, I didn't realize it was the same player until they went back and showed the replay too. Because it was like about 10 seconds or so in between. Yeah. So yeah, it was good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. I think he gets it for me. The only other ones I had were talked about it, but Cameron Archer's run and shot was nice. O'Shea's header against Liverpool was pretty nice. Snuck it in there. And then Mooney's second goal, where Willian crosses it in and he just slots it home at the back post.
Nice. Wide open.
Very nice. But I mean, look, if you're gonna go for this botched karate kick move and then somehow get the ball back seconds later and slot in a curler like that, like,
you went from meme to goal of the week real quick.
For real.
All right.
He might win both, honestly. Like, we could just chop that scene in half.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
The memes were good this week, Chad. Douglas Luiz's celebration was a classic. Can you do it? Yeah. Come on, you can get a little more shoulders in there.
Let's see. I mean, gonna get some space here. It's like a.
That was intense, man. Why do you do that so hard?
I don't know. It looked like a release of frustration, and then I think he realized what he was doing and where he was doing it, and he was like, I should get up and go.
Yeah, for sure. That was good. The magic card trick in AFCON was sick. I was definitely into that. I would love to see more magic tricks coming into celebrations.
I mean, look, we had not magic tricks, but Aubameyang used to do like the mask thing.
Right.
Where's the fun celebrations like that? Pull those things out. Like, if you got a trick in you, bust it out. Like, camera's on you. It
was good sleight of hand too. It wasn't like a shitty thing. It was, it wasn't tacky. It was like clever. No. And I don't know what the card logo was. It was like an S or something. But it don't matter. Sure. I don't care what it was. It looked cool. It was different. It might have been the first magic trick ever done on a soccer pitch.
And I mean, like, That's a high pressure situation. You just
Yeah.
scored. Everyone's cheering. Camera's solely on you. You fuck that up. Everyone's gonna meme me even harder for it.
Yep. Yep. I agree. And we don't. There's no winner of meme of the week.
No, yeah.
But Chad, the Undertaker, come on. We had to declare a meme of the year. The Undertaker going to a Saudi game and revealing the trophy with Ronaldo weirdly looking excited behind him.
You look like a little kid.
What world is this?
I don't even know. I mean, it's like I said, like, we know the fan numbers are not great for the Saudi league, so whatever you got to do to get people there, it's
How many people do you think were even there for that? Like, honestly, I don't know the number, but if 600 or so are coming for Jordan Henderson's games,
yeah, probably not a lot. But I mean, now that they heard the Undertaker was at the last game, maybe they got to go to the next game. Who knows? Could get John Cena out there.
I did not think this was real. I really didn't. When I saw, because the clip I saw was just a pretty cropped clip of the Undertaker just walking out to a trophy. And they were saying, oh, he shows up at Ronaldo's game. I was like, bullshit. There's not Ronaldo. And then finally the version that I got where Ronaldo was looking around. He's like, oh, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's silly. But
Strange
I mean,
world.
cool, gotta do what you gotta do. The last one I gotta mention though, Real Madrid opening a hamburger chain in Mexico with plans to grow this thing and have actual income from it is just I want them to do burgers that are, I don't know, I want the Ronaldo burger or something, and it's stamped with his name and number, and then I don't know, you gotta jazz it up. You can't just give me a hamburger and call it a day.
Yeah. It'd be cool. Have you ever been to Ike's?
Yeah. I was just kind of thinking that.
So you know how they have the player names for different locations? Yeah. It would be cool if they were able to tie in local teams to I'll have I don't know, say they're in Liverpool, they make one of them, I'd like to have the Mo Salah or something like that, where it could be, paying, we understand this is Real's thing, but you can have the Ronaldo sandwich in every place. I'm hoping they don't do I'll have the Uno, which is just a single burger, or I'll have the Dose, which is a two pat. I'm hoping that they don't go basic. Make this thing into something interesting.
I feel like you have to. You're a football club opening a burger shop, you're gonna get some attention anyway, but really lean into that, because that's just so weird, right? Why not have fun with it and have the Ronaldo burger, and then if you're in Liverpool, the Salah or something, just it's already a weird
Ronaldo.
combination.
Let's go crazy.
Yeah, like a Messi versus Ronaldo chicken wing box.
Holy
I don't know,
shit, the gang bang Ronaldo Messi, yeah.
Exactly.
Anything you want.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. I think it's
where in Mexico is it?
The tweet that I saw doesn't say specifically, but it'll be interesting to see. It's
gotta be
what
Mexico City.
They're forecasting the business in 2024. They want to franchise the business this year.
Okay.
But they expect annual revenue to reach $762 million in 7 years. So that's a pretty good return and just extra income. And I wouldn't be surprised if this sees some even low level of success if other clubs start to branch out and maybe not do burger joints, but I don't know, open a hookah bar or something.
Spurs got to go chicken wings.
Chicken wings, there you go. It's match made in heaven, right?
They got to. So many options.
Yeah. And then perhaps the most non-meme of the week, the blue card.
Oh, yes. Wow, I forgot about that topic.
As much as it sounds like a meme, it may not be.
Chad, I don't see it happening for real. I really don't.
Yeah.
Especially for Premier League. It's
Yeah.
too abstract. It's too like I don't want to say controversial, but it's just like it's gonna take away so much of the true part of the game.
Hmm.
Um, I think refs just need to buckle down a little bit more. Make players
Yeah.
understand they can't get away with this shit.
Hmm.
Yellow card them if necessary. Don't give them a red card for like Dowlow's situation a couple weeks ago, where
Hmm.
like you don't even give him time to react. It's like okay, like then you just killed momentum there. Allow referees to be able to redact a yellow card in case their ego gets too far, right? Like,
It's fair. Yeah.
I understand refs are always trying to be right and they can never be wrong, but at the same time, like, how you sometimes see refs take that red card and they bring it back down and they say no red card and they can't, like,
Hmm. Hmm.
check yourself. It's not the worst thing to check yourself.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this a couple maybe months ago now when like the sin bin thing kind of came up, and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
okay, you're the team that has a guy pulled off for 10 minutes. You're keeping possession in safe areas, time wasting, faking injuries, anything you can for 10 minutes. So game basically stops.
It's going to be
You know,
so boring.
it's not worth implementing certainly at the highest levels, and probably many levels down as well. But yeah, it just feels like the easier solution would be to properly yellow card verbal abuse if that's what you're targeting, or like the cynical fouls, which is already a big gray word of like what is that considered. you
Yep.
know
Yep.
um the example they had was Chiellini pulling back Saka during what, the Euros, I think it was. um I think that's what it was.
Chiellini? Why is that name ringing? Oh, from Italy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
From Italy, yeah. But like it's that foul of like he's making a good run and gets just pulled back. Like you see all the teams and players do it. Okay, so just yellow card that foul. That foul will stop after enough people get yellow carded and realize like, ooh, can't do that,
Right.
So I don't think it's necessary. England offered up the women's and men's FA Cups for next season to trial it. I hope that doesn't go through because,
Right.
FA Cup, I think, is still a big enough competition that you don't want to see it get ruined by this like weird blue card thing. And then you get two blue cards and it equals a red anyway. So it's like, we're doing a yellow basically anyway, all right? Like,
Can't wait for the purple cards.
yeah, it's just, if they want to like try and get rid of abuse towards the refs and stuff, put that microphone on the ref, put the camera on them, whatever you got to do. Like, then you can hold people accountable as you give them a yellow. And if they keep
Yeah.
going and you want to send them off the pitch, do it. You got the audio, video proof, whatever. Like, that's the easy route here. Not changing the whole rule set.
It's crazy how we'd be able to see and hear and hold people accountable, all
Yeah.
because we can just put a mic on them, which happens anyway. There's probably mics on them now for documentaries
Oh,
and
sure.
TV shows and whatever
Yeah.
the team is trying to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be fascinating to hear though. I'd love to see what refs are being called in the middle of a game to make them
Yeah.
not give a yellow. Like what is the line? Like am I gonna call you a wanker and get a yellow? Or do I have to call you a fucking wanker and get a
Yeah.
yellow? What can I get away with here?
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious to see what players say and do. And
No, yeah. And I think it would be good, if you're, especially in this VAR era of like worried about refs always being right or respected or anything like that. Like, if you put a mic on them and we can hear like what's being said to them, that almost like humanizes the ref more and makes the fans more empathetic to what
For
like
sure.
they're actually going through, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's the smarter move. I'd also just say like go with like, instead of like anyone and everyone can crowd the ref in these situations, like it's the people affected in the foul and captains. Like, that should kind of be the limit. Again, the ref will have to play how strict he wants to be with that. But again, that's kind of your role here, is to like control the game and ideally keep everyone on the pitch. But if someone's out of line, then they gotta go.
Lock them up. All you got to do is just hold that card in your hand. As soon as just put it in your hand, see what, like, come at me. Especially if it's red. No one wants to walk up to a ref with a red card in his hand.
Just because you pull it out don't mean you got to show it. But once it's out, you'll see everyone acts exactly as perfectly as you wanted them to, right?
Like, you sure about this?
Say it to my face one more time. Yeah, so I
blue card.
don't think it'll go through. It's not worth it.
It's a fun meme to talk about.
Yeah.
It's a short-lived meme. Probably gonna forget about it in a year's time.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Do it in like the U.S. Cup. Do it in the U.S. tour and the Asian tour when teams go out. Just to like, I don't know. It'd be kind of fun. It'd actually be kind of silly to look at because I'm sure players would like. I'm sure they'd get it for really dumb reasons. Like those players aren't gonna get that worked up.
Yeah.
In those games or make rough fouls, but
yeah. Oh, but then today it came out, or maybe yesterday it came out that like if a keeper is shown a blue card, they got to go off for 10 minutes, and then the team either has to make a permanent sub or put an outfield player in goal.
Two keepers, baby.
The hell is this game gonna be then? It's just
see. This is where they gotta find the loophole where it's like, if you sub a keeper in and your other keeper comes back in, it doesn't say in the rule book you can't have two keepers. This is like, I'm trying to go galaxy brain here.
Oh, like the ultimate park the bus. Like
get a blue card in the first minute. Sub your keeper. Make sure you're on your keeper, and then somehow figure out a way to get two keep. Like, I'd love to see what the rule book says with all these little nitty gritty things about. Oh well, if you have a keeper in there, now you got to move that keeper out. But he's already wearing the gloves.
Mourinho's just pouring over the rules right now. He's like, oh,
sure.
Okay.
There will be someone out there who finds a weird like bend in this rule and they get a blue card on purpose. It's going to happen. Mark my words.
Well, there you go. Hopefully we get to see it.
For that reason.
Ideally, not in anything like with consequence, but I'm here for the meme of it.
It'd be awesome. It'd be so awesome. All right. I think we nailed it, Chad. Anything else you got to say to the people?
Nope. Just more footy to come,
How many weeks we got? 14 more weeks?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a lot of time.
No.
Let's make some moves. All right. With that, episode 61 in the books.
Mm-hmm.
It is bedtime. So with that, the Hooligans pitch are out.
Peace.